What's up, guys? It's Logan's Locks here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys 4 PrizePicks locks for this weekend's NFL slate, Sunday, the 24th of September. But yeah, let's get right into it. So the first prop we're going to be looking at Kenny Pickett over on 20.5 pass completions. Um, the reason why I'm taking this prop is because if we're going to go ahead and go over here on the sports book and scroll down, we could see already that he is favored on the books, minus 140 favorite to go over 20.5 pass completions. And another reason why is if we go over here to look at Kenny Pickett versus the Raiders in his career, he had 26 completions versus the Raiders in 2022. Um, and this is also an in-conference game, and the over/under of this game is, let's see, the over/under of this game is 43, and the spread is very close, so I do call for it to be a close game, a shootout. And if we look at QBs versus the Raiders this season, we have 31 completions from Josh Allen, and we have 27 completions from Russell Wilson. And I'm pretty sure these were both very close games, and the Raiders like to keep the game close no matter if they're losing or not. Um, and I think it calls for a big game from Kenny Pickett on the completions wise. But yeah, that's for Kenny Pickett. And the next prop we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at Mac Jones, 32.5 passing attempts on the over. If you click the little last 5 games, obviously we can see it's all green here, but we're going to do a little bit more in-depth research for you guys. We're going to go ahead and look at Mac Jones' game log this season. His attempts is 42 and 54, and his line is at 32.5 on PrizePicks. The Patriots are throwing the ball a lot this season. They're not really being more run relevant like they usually are in the past seasons. They're trying to get Mac Jones more involved. And I think 32.5 is really low for this game, especially since it's an in-division game. And in-divisions games are always shootouts. They play the Jets this weekend, and I think it's going to be a close game, and it's going to call for more passing attempts. Yes, people might be scared of that Jets secondary, but I still don't think Bill Belichick's going to back off from the way he likes to play the game with Mac Jones. And as you can see, the last 2 weeks, 42 attempts and 54 attempts, and 231 passing yards, 316 passing yards. And yeah, so that's another reason why I think we should take Mac Jones over 32.5 passing attempts. The next prop we're going to look at is Kirk Cousins over 288.5 passing yards. Um, this Chargers and Minnesota game is just calling to be a shootout. The over/under on this game is 54. 54 points, guys, and the spread is it's damn near even money line, damn near even spread. It's a 1 point spread, so it calls to be a close game. Kirk Cousins is playing at home here, and if you can see his last 2 games, he has 364 passing yards, 344 passing yards, and 364 passing yards came against one of the best defenses in the NFL. The Chargers struggle in the secondary, as you can see. We can see Kirk Cousins' game log this season: 31 completions, 44 attempts in each of the games, and he's throwing the ball 44 times. So that calls 44 times calls for a lot of yards, and especially versus the Chargers, or like I said, it's going to be a shootout. It's a 54-point over under. Um, and yeah, I think this is a very viable option. I just think this is too low considering he's thrown for damn near 350 yards every single game this season. I know we only have 2 games under the belt, but like I said, the over under is too high for this game, and the number of passing yards is too low for Kirk Cousins. So I think that's a free over this season. All right, the next prop we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at Zay Flowers over 48.5 receiving yards. Zay Flowers has been really good this season for me. I bet it on him both weeks, and he's cashed me both weeks, and they still have not learned where to put this guy's line. And if we're going to go ahead and look at Zay Flowers' game log this season, he's been getting 5 targets, 10 targets the first game versus Houston, and 5 targets last week, and he caught the ball 4 times and 9 times. So he's only dropped the ball once. After other times he's been targeted. 62 receiving yards in the game this following week, and 78 in the first game versus the Texans. And if we're going to go ahead and look at the wide receivers versus the Colts this season, so we have Robert Woods, 6 receptions, 9 targets, and 74 yards. Nico Collins, 7 receptions, 146 yards. Tank Dell, 72 receptions, 7 receptions, 72 yards. Zay Jones, 5 receptions, 55 yards. Calvin Ridley, 8 receptions, 101 yards. And I think Zay Flowers more resembles the wide receivers as Nico Collins and Calvin Ridley. He's a wide receiver 1 for the Ravens, so I think he's going to get most of the volume. So I see 48.5 is just too low considering the two wide receiver ones for both these teams went crazy with 146 and 101. And sometimes Zay Flowers also plays in the slot, so if you're scared of him not playing out on the X position, the wide receiver X position, the slot receivers from these teams both got heavy usage. Zay Jones getting 55, Robert Woods getting 74, and Tank Dell getting 72 receiving yards. And yeah, I think that's why it's a viable option to go over. So these are going to be all the props I have for you guys this week. If you guys want me to, if you guys want to see more props from me, just comment down below. As well as go follow my Twitter, Logan's Locks on Twitter. I'm going to be posting my slips there. But yeah, so the props we have is Kenny Pickett over 20.5 pass completions, Mac Jones over 32.5 pass attempts, Kirk Cousins over 288.5 passing yards, and Zay Flowers over 48.5 receiving yards. So if you guys have any questions on these props, or if you guys have any props you want to share with me, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll let you know my thoughts about them. It's from Boy Logan's Locks. Let's cash out this weekend. Peace.